Salvete, welcome to this video lesson on Capitulum Vicessimum, chapter 20, Lingua Latina per se illustrata. Parentes est titulus capituli, parentes, parents. Hic in pictura sunt parentes Aemilia mater est, et Julius pater est. In pictura est infans. In the picture is an infant, a baby. All right. In margine, in the margin, kunai, cradle or crib. On the story, purri parvuli, small boys or little boys, qui non dum fare possunt, who are not yet able to speak, infantes dicuntur, are called infants, babies. Now, infantes comes from fontes, speaking, and the in prefix, which negates it. So, the reason they're called infants is they, infantes, are not speaking. Parvulus infans, a itty-bitty infant, in cunis cubare solet, is accustomed to, or usually lies, cubare, in a cradle, or in a crib. And here we see cunai in the margin. Now, in English we say cradle or crib. In Latin, cunai is plural always. Cunai sunt lectulus infantis. Cunai, or a cradle, is a little bed of a baby. Infans multas horas dormit. A baby sleeps for many hours. Non solum nocte, not only at night, sed etiam die, but also at day, or in the day. Nam longus somnus infanti tam necessarius est quam cibus, for a long sleep is just so necessary for a baby as food. Infans neque somno, neque cibo carere potest. A baby is not able to lack either sleep or food, or we could say is able to lack neither sleep nor food. So carere means to lack or to want or to miss a thing, and then the thing that you're lacking or in need of goes in the ablative. That's why somno and cibo are ablative there. Quomodo infans, qui fare non potest, cibum postulat. How does a baby who is not able to speak demand food? Infans qui cibo caret, a baby who is lacking food, magna voce vagit, wails or cries, vagit, in a big, in other words, loud voice. Ita parvulus infans cibum postulat. So, an itty-bitty baby demands food. Tum mater accurrit, then the mother runs up, atque infantem ad pectus suum opponit, and she places the baby to her chest. Infans lac matris bibit, the baby drinks the mother's milk. Parvulus infans, cui dentes nulli sunt, the itty-bitty baby for whom there are no teeth, and that's normal in Latin, but again, we would probably just say who has no teeth or something of that nature. So the little bitty baby for whom there are no teeth, non pane sed lacte vivit, lives not on bread but on milk. So pane and lacte are both ablative. Si mater infantem suum ipsa allere non potest, if the mother is not able to nourish or nurse her baby herself, sive non vult, or if she doesn't want to, infans ab alia muliere alitur, the baby is nourished or nursed by another woman, quae ei in loco matris est, who is in the place of a mother for it, that is, for the baby. Mulier quae alienum infantem alit, a woman who nurses or nurtures another person's baby, alienum infantem, nutrix vocatur, is called a wet nurse. So a nurse or a wet nurse, this is a woman who nurses a baby, breastfeeds a baby for another woman. Multi infantes Romani, many Roman babies, non a matribus suis, not by their own mothers, sed a nutricibus aluntur, but are nursed by nurses, by wet nurses. Now, I would point out here that this is speaking only of like really wealthy Roman families, right? So normal Romans certainly would not be able to afford to have women nurse the babies for them. So the mothers would do this on their own. But certainly among the higher class Romans, it was quite common to have slaves who would nurse the babies for the women. All right. Multae matres, many mothers, infantes suos ipsae alere nolunt, do not want to nurse their own babies themselves. And again, I'm not sure how much this is true, but we're talking about among sort of certain sophisticated, wealthy Romans. This is not normal Romans that would do this. Okay? Ante quinque annos Julia parvula infanzerat. 5 years earlier, 5 years before, Julia was a little bitty baby. Tunc infantim in cunis habebat Aemilia. Then, at that time, tunc, Aemilia had a baby in a cradle. Nunc ea parvulo infante caret. Now she lacks a little bitty baby. Remember, caret means to lack or need something, to be missing it, and parvulo infante is the ablative again, thing that you're lacking. Cunai vacuae sunt. The cradle is empty. And again, it looks like are empty because cunai is plural in Latin, but we say crib or cradle singular in English. Sed post paucos menses, but after a few months, novus infans in cunis erit. A new baby will be in the cradle. So you might have picked up at the end of the last chapter, there was a bit of a hint that Aemilia is pregnant, and so here we get the total confirmation. Aemilia rursus parvulum infantem habebit. Aemilia again will have a little bitty baby. Neque cunai vacuae erunt, nor will the crib be empty. Tum Julius et Aemilia quator libros habebunt. Then Julius and Aemilia will have, notice the bu and habebunt, making it future, will have 4 children. Aemilia laeta, cunas movebit. Aemilia happy, will move the cradle. Okay, so we're getting a lot of futures here. The erit up above is will be, habebit will have, erunt will be, and then habebunt will have, and now movebit will move. Future is kind of a focus in this chapter. Et parva voce cantabit, and in a small voice, which we would say probably in a light or quiet voice, she will sing, cantabit. Notice the bi there in cantabit, making it future. La la. So she'll be singing a little lullaby to her new baby in the cradle. Pater infantem suum in manibus portabit. Here's another future verb. The father will carry his own baby in his hands, and we can see that in the margin. Eumque non minus amabit, and he will not love it less quam mater, than its mother will love it, understood. Pater et mater infantem suum aeque amabunt. The father and the mother will equally love their baby. So amabunt, again, future verb with the bu. Anno post, a year later, pater et mater, the father and the mother, ab infante suo appellabantur, will be called by their baby. That is to say, the baby will call on its mom and dad. Aemilia autem mama appellabitur. Aemilia, however, will be called mama, non mater, not mother. Neque Julius pater, sed tata appellabitur. Nor will Julius be called pater, or father, but he will be called tata, or maybe daddy, right? So the point is here, in a year's time, if the baby's about a year old, that's about the time when a baby would start walking and talking. Sometimes a little bit after, sometimes a little before, but around a year old, babies will begin to do a little walking, a little bit of talking. All right, but they're not going to call somebody mother and father. So we in English would say mom or mommy or something like that, maybe mama. And so in Latin it's mama, and in English you would say dad or daddy maybe, and in Latin it's tata. Okay. Nequenim infans ipsa nomina patris et matris dicere poterit. For nor indeed will the baby, the infant, be able to say the very names of father and mother, or the names of father and mother themselves. That is, he won't be able to say the exact word pater and mater. Infans igitur, the baby therefore, parentibus suis dicet, will say to his parents. And here's another of those future verbs. This time dicet has an E for the marking the future. If it were dicit with an IT, that would be the present tense. So some verbs mark a future not with the bo bib bu, but rather with the A and E type vowels in the ending. So dicet will say to his parents, Mama, Tata. In other words, Mommy and Daddy. Neque solum prima verba, not only first words, sed etiam primos gradus, but also the first steps. Faciet infans, will the infant make. So I put that all together. Nor will the baby make only its first words, but it will also make its first steps. Initio, in the beginning, pater eum sustenebit, the father will hold him up. Ac manu ducit, and will lead him with his hand, or guide him with his hand. Moxuero, but soon, infans solus ambulare incipiet. The baby will begin. Notice incipiet is another of these future verbs. Ducet and faciet up above, all of those have the E, which mark those as future. Sustenebit has the BI marking it as future. Lots of futures here. So again, soon the baby will begin to walk alone. Neque a parentibus sustenebitur, nor will it be held up by its parents. Neque manu ducetur, nor will it be led by hand. Infans ambulans, the baby walking, a parentibus laetis laudabitur, will be praised laudabitur by its happy parents. Simul infans plura verba discet, at the same time the baby will learn more words. Et mox recte loquisciet, and soon will know, we would say, how to speak correctly. So sciet is again one of these futures. Discat is future with the E. Utra infantim Aemiliae alet, materne a nutrix. So utra is which of two. So when you're asking a question about two alternatives, you can use this, uter, utra, utrum. Which of the two will nurse Aemilia's baby, the mother or the wet nurse? Infans a matre aletur, the baby will be nursed by the mother. Aemilia ipsa infantem vagientem ad pectus suum apponit. Aemilia herself will place the crying baby at her chest. Infans lac matris bibet, the baby will drink the mother's milk. Non nutricis, not the nurses. Tum mater infantem in cunas imponet, then the mother will place the baby in the crib. Vesperi, in the evening, duae ancillae cunas in cubiculum parentum portabunt. Two maidservants will carry the cradle into the bedroom of the parents, atque ante lectum eorum ponent, and they will place it, notice ponent has the E again, in front of their bed, meaning in front of the parents' bed. Si infans bene dormiet, if the baby shall sleep well. Nec vagiet, and shall not cry. Parentes quoque bene dormiet, the parents will also sleep well. Neque ab infante vagiente, e somno excitabunt, nor will they be woken up by a crying baby, be woken up from their sleep, e somno, by a crying baby. Okay, so again, babies do sleep a lot. I remember with my first baby, they sleep 14, 16 hours in a day easy sometimes, but some babies have a hard time getting to sleep, and they cry a lot in the night and in the day. It can be really tough, so parents might not sleep too well. Julius ad hoc in peristulo cum uxore colloquitur. Julius still is conversing, colloquitur, with his wife, cum uxore, in the peristyle. Okay, let's stop there because that's actually beginning to get into the second section. And we'll pick up and finish the second section in our next video lesson. But we've completed section 1. So I hope you've learned a few things, picked up on some of the different future formations with the e's or the bobibus, or the erit, which is will be, and erunt, which is the plural of will be. Some of those different forms that we have with all the future emphasis in this chapter. Walete omnes.